Hi, my name is Troy Hutchinson. I'm the National Sales Manager for Associated Health Systems, and we've been working together with Lark Foundations for several years to increase accessibility to multisensory therapy for seniors living with dementia. So what is multisensory therapy? It originated in the Netherlands in the 70s and provides sensory simulation in a safe and controlled setting, targeting the senses of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, movement, all the senses that enable us to get information into our brains and comprehend the world around us. On a day-to-day basis, we experience about 300 stimuli every 30 minutes, whereas by contrast, a resident in a care facility with dementia can experience as little as 30 stimuli every 30 minutes. So, drastic difference. This lack of stimulation can lead to isolation, aggression, confusion, sleep disorders, and a decline of everyday skills. Now imagine going from familiar surroundings and without fully understanding why, being moved into a care facility with your routine being disrupted, access to usual activities taken away. Very confusing and stressful times, and that could encourage a decline of activities and abilities. The goal of multisensory therapy is to provide a pleasurable experience as well as a sense of well-being and enable residents to feel connected and have control over their surroundings. It engages the mind and memory and enhances skills that still exist. In terms of the tools needed, it could be something as simple as a ball with texture to it that a resident can hold in their hand, or a caregiver could roll over the palm of somebody's hand to provide that sensory stimulation in the hand. Or it could be something more complex, like colored fiber optic strands that somebody could run their fingers through or run the tips of the strands over the palm of their hand. Or a bubble tube that changes colors for visual and audible stimuli. It all depends on the person's cognitive ability and what they will respond to. For example, one site found that a resident was taking apart the mechanism underneath his bed, the motor of the motorized bed, every night. In speaking with his family, they discovered that he was an auto mechanic that used to work on his own car late at night, and that was his habit for about 30 years. So instead of providing or prescribing sedatives to get him to sleep, they brought in some nuts, bolts, some small tools, and let him tinker with them every night after dinner before he went to sleep. Almost immediately, he started sleeping through the night, and maintenance didn't need to repair his bed every morning anymore. At another site, there was a lady that had been there for 2 years and sat at most high or by, otherwise sitting still and silent in her wheelchair. The staff brought in a fiber optic strand set, and the lady responded to it well. She really liked running her fingers through the strands and seeing the colors change. After about 15 minutes, she turned to one of the staff members and said, "Thank you for showing this to me," and they proceeded to have a brief conversation. These are the kind of interactions and impacts that multisensory therapy can have on both the elders and on their families. Feedback we consistently get from sites is that family visits increase in frequency and duration, because it's no longer about just sitting vigil bedside with a relative. There's now activities that the family members can engage in, and grandchildren even. So it's got very much a full circle benefit for everybody involved. Unfortunately, there's no cure for dementia, but multisensory therapy is a way to make the process slightly easier for everybody. Currently, Associated Health Systems and Lark Foundations are building a sensory room inside Surrey-based Health Tech Connect's Center for Neurology Studies. This is a room that will be accessible to residents and families outside of the care home setting, so they can actually go to the center and access the multisensory therapy. The rooms will have a wide assortment of items, from handheld tactile pieces to fiber optic strands and bubble tubes, so countless different ways that the family members can access this therapy for their loved ones. We'll be sharing more info shortly as soon as the room is completed in the next couple of weeks. Thank you for your continued support of Lark Foundation.